สวัสดีผมชื่อบิลเบนสลีย์นะครับแล้วก็ผมพักที่กรุงเทพนะครับประมาณ25 ปีนะฮะอันนี้สตูดิโอผมที่กรุงเทพนะสวยไหม What I just said was my name is Bill Bensley. I've been living here for 25 years and this is my studio garden. And this is also the introduction to Bensley's Thai Chronicles. I hope you really like it.
Hong Kong for me was a difficult place to live. Few trees and the hectic, frenetic business life was not my cup of tea. And accountants and timesheets dictated the effort one could spend on a project. After 2 years of Hong Kong, I had had my fill and was ready to start Bensley Design Studios, which I did in October 1989. At 30 years of age, I moved to Thailand, and within a week, I met my partner, my best friend, my confidant, Chirichai Rangtong. It's the single best circumstance that has ever happened to me. My first resolution in starting my own firm came from my dear dad. Always do your best, he would say. So timesheets were banished, and I was resolved to always do the best possible job for our clients, regardless of the consequences financially. I was greeted in Thailand by a friendly lot. Kunchanin Danavanik put me up at the Dusatani, while Kundang of Leo Design gave me free rent and the secretary in a corner of his office that occupied a parking lot on Soya Sok. How could this go wrong? Kunchanin gave me an advance and I was away. I hired the best people I could. One, Paupan Laird, Chala Chang, Pasak Di, and many are still with me 25 years later. Projects came in one after another, and despite economic downturns, SARS, bird flu, coups, monetary crisis, and all, we, touch wood, have always been busy. We've had some wonderful projects in the early days. We spent almost every single weekend building the gardens, plant by plant, and by spray paint, direct to the ground to illustrate our wishes. The Four Seasons Chiang Mai, Anantara Hua Hin, Dusit, Hua Hin, and the Marriotts in Pattaya, Bangkok, and Phuket were all built like this over many years. We developed a unique relationship with our projects where we were the visual policemen. We care about the maintenance of a project as our children, as our projects are a direct reflection of how good we are as a design firm. At that first Anantara in Hua Hin, it might still have been called the Royal Garden. Let me explain this funny story. We had the approval to give the lobby a bit of a facelift by changing out the furniture. The onerous general manager at the time gave us from midnight to 6 a.m. to do our job, which we did. At midnight, we brought in all of the lovely antique furniture from Chiang Mai that Richard Dixon made for us there. By 3 a.m., much of it was in place, but it just didn't look right. Then I remembered that there was still our king-size bed platform, some 2 meters by 2 meters on the truck in the parking lot as they had delivered it to the wrong place. I brought it in, placed it in the center of the lobby, and voila! It made the space work perfectly. By luck, and by 4 a.m., all was done and everyone was happy. One of my favorite early projects was the tiny postage stamp of the garden swimming pool at the Sheraton Grand Sukhumvit. The strong burgundy red Thai colors, the scale, the Burmese shade umbrellas, the pink sandstone art all just came together a treat. Also of a very strong color palette was the Bhutanese Country Club by Sansiri. Inspired by my first trip to Bhutan, we exploited the fabulous colors of the Zongs of Bhutan. My friend Benjamin Von Wong, the Montreal-based photographer, did a great video we call The Spirit of Bensley, which shows much of our lively studio space in Bangkok. I highly recommend that you watch this one too. More recently, we have finished in Thailand the Four Seasons Koh Samui, the Four Seasons Tented Elephant Camp, and the Siam, all of which followed my dream of being the most comprehensive and creative design studio that we can be.